Ford jacked up the prices of their trucks and now they're not selling and things are getting bad. They just announced a $23,000 discount year over year for the Grand Wagoneer.
The car market has collapsed. If you've been waiting to buy a new car, the car market is in a full-blown recession.
Nobody is selling cars right now, from new car dealerships to used car dealerships to manufacturers. The auto market is in a complete crisis. We're going to take a look at some videos today with a first-hand experience from consumers that are dealing with the fallout to the car manufacturers and the car dealerships themselves. Let's get into our first video.
I seriously need to know why all these old faded headlight used cars are like over $9,000. What? How much are they?
64 and 74.
$6,400 for a 2013 with 175,000 miles. I bought mine for $2,000 with 136,000 on it. Nobody is going to buy these cars. I could not imagine.
Can someone show this to Dave Ramsey and George Kamel so they can finally stop telling people you can get a good used car for $5,000? This comment has 5,700 likes. Dave Ramsey's advice is 30 years outdated. I have to agree, a lot of the time he tells people to go buy this $5,000 car from the sky that just does not exist in today's economy. These cars 4 to 5 years ago were $1,000 to $2,000. And of course, nobody wants to take the small amount of cash they've been able to save in this terrible economy and go put it on one of these cash cars because they're terrible. Instead, what people do is they take their $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and they go and put that deposit on a new car, or at the very least, a newer car. One that maybe comes with some kind of warranty or service plan. These things are complete money pits. Again, even if it's a Honda or a Toyota, 170,000 miles for $7,000, you are out of your mind. But it's not just used cars, it's new cars too. We're gonna take a look at a clip of a dealership that cannot move all of these new overpriced trucks.
All right, so I want you to check this out. Full row of trucks, full row of trucks. Turn around behind me, another full row of trucks. And over here, more trucks. And this is a storage lot. We've had a very slow last few months. You're hearing used car dealers, just like myself, talk about how rough the car market has been. How can this be when Ford, GM, Stelantis, they're all saying, okay, they're hitting big numbers. Last quarter, we had record sales out of Ford. How can this happen? And here's the thing. Manufacturers and dealerships are not the same thing. See, who is the customer for a manufacturer? It's not me and you. We don't contribute to their record sales. It's these dealerships. And look behind me right here. 2025 Gladiator Rubicon 4x4, $58,000. And I did want to check out one of these Ram 3500s, turbo diesel. Here we go. It's the 3500 Laramie Night Mega Cab 4x4. Price on this thing is $93,000.
For a new truck. That's insane. And this is happening industry-wide right now. Dealerships across the country are starting to see the negative effects. Stock is piling up, prices keep going up, and nobody is coming to buy these trucks.
Ford jacked up the prices of their trucks and now they're not selling and things are getting bad. A new 2025 F-150 Platinum costs over $85,000 and Ford dealers aren't selling them. This one's been sitting for over 250 days at this dealership. Now look at some of this data. For example, MSRP $85,000, the dealer invoice price is $79,000. So it's super profitable for the dealer, but again, it's not selling. How bad is the situation? There's a 6,030 days supply of inventory because only one of these F-150 Platinums have sold in the last 45 days within 500 miles of this one, yet Ford dealers in that same area have 134 for sale. That's a huge issue because there's a lot of supply and not enough demand.
Oh, and by the way, that $85,000 does not count for taxes, for dock fees, for nitrogen in your tires, even though most people know that that's a complete scam now. Some of the dealerships have enough balls to start charging sales commission and marketing fees as part of the car loan. No wonder nobody wants to buy these things. You'll never convince me that those trucks are worth $80,000 to $100,000. 2,300 likes on that. $50,000 at best, not even that, more like $135,000. Everyone is forgetting that these trucks are being made overseas for a fraction of the labor cost from where they were produced in the United States. So these companies are making record profits off of each truck. Ford itself has recognized the problem in the industry right now, and they've actually released new incentives that just went online about a week or two ago.
Ford just announced literally a half hour ago that they're doing 0% on almost every single model. No, 0%, no payments for 90 days,
Escapes,
and no money down.
Mach-E, Explorers, Transit, F-150s, Lightnings, and certain Super Duties.
0% for 60 months. They're also doing $399 lease payments and $499.
On a Mustang EcoBoost, on a Mach-E Select, an Escape Active, Bronco Sport Big Ben, and those are $399 payments. Then they're going to do $499 payments on Mustang GTs, Maverick XLT hybrids, Ranger XLTs, Bronco Big Bens, Explorer Actives, F-150 STXs, and Lightnings.
Bro.
0% APR for 72 months plus no payments for 90 days. Man, I would hate to have purchased a car from this dealership maybe a week or two ago before this came out. We don't even want 0%, we just don't want the vehicle to cost $80,000. Repos are gonna go crazy. This is only for 2025 models, which means Ford has so much unsold inventory that they need to push these out for 2026. But even with all these crazy incentives, this is still not sustainable. The average car price has just gone up so much over the past couple years.
Tonight, it's never been more expensive to buy a new car. According to a report from Kelley Blue Book, the average price for a new vehicle has cracked the $50,000 mark for the first time ever.
That's shocking.
I think it's obscene.
And that's just what people paid. The average asking price, the MSRP for 2026 models, is even higher, more than $52,000. Talk about sticker shock. The study's authors writing, it was only a matter of time, especially when you consider the best-selling vehicle in America is a pickup truck from Ford that routinely costs north of $65,000. The report says the average price for a new Tesla is $54,138.
This is not even counting all of the additional little upgrades and fees and things that they put on the car price before they sell you the car. This is just on MSRP from the manufacturer. And in order to comfortably afford one of these brand new vehicles at $50,000, bare minimum, you need to be making like 6 figures a year. Buying a new car has become so out of reach for most people. Used cars with 85,000 to 100,000 miles are the same price as brand new cars. At least when you're talking about Hondas and Toyotas, it's definitely comparable. I remember when $25,000 was expensive for a new car. And these comments just go on and on. It's not just Ford or pickup trucks. All of the manufacturers are dealing with this, as we'll talk about in the next clip.
Yeah, Jeep jacked up prices a ton over the past few years, but they just announced a $23,000 discount year over year for the Grand Wagoneer. What the heck's going on at Jeep?
Well, they finally cried uncle, ladies and gentlemen. They admitted the error of their ways, and they have taken the price of the Wagoneers back down significantly. 4x2 from 85 grand to 62 grand. Kind of sort of makes sense. They kind of priced out their customers with these crazy prices they had in the past.
So we've seen a lot of automakers increase their prices over the past few years. Do you think this is the first of many automakers who will have to reduce their prices to try and sell more vehicles?
Well, if you lost sales 5 years in a row, I think at a certain point you say to yourself, maybe it's how much we're asking for it. Stelantis finally did that, and they're going back to their roots, and they're bringing back pricing that is more affordable to more customers that they were looking for.
Now, let me ask you a question, Dad. Do you still think $62,000 is an affordable price for a Jeep?
I don't think $62,000 is an affordable price for any vehicle, but it's certainly somewhat more affordable than, say, $85,000.
Imagine you just paid 85 grand for a Wagoneer, and then you see this. Yes, all 7 people will be upset. If a car manufacturer can cut prices by 20 grand and still make money, that is the definition of corporate greed. Not to mention that Jeep and the Stelantis group as a whole produce some of the worst new cars on the market. There are horror stories galore of these brand new cars breaking down with less than 10,000 miles. The quality of parts is extremely poor, the depreciation is insane, and the prices have been jacked up every year for the last 4 to 5 years. Part of the reason why cars are not selling is that the buying process of having to go to a dealership and deal with all the bullshit is finally starting to catch up with these dealerships.
Here's something that nobody's really talking about, and it's a big concern. More and more people are buying their cars at the dealership, but they are not getting it serviced there. And here's the crazy part, it's happening faster than anyone expected. So what's the big deal? Well, when people don't service their car at a dealership, they don't usually buy from that dealership, and there goes the long-term loyalty that dealerships are after. So why do you think that customers are leaving dealerships and getting their car service themselves? Is it trust? Is it convenience? Is it price? Let me know. I want to know what you guys think.
300% markup on service and a 4-hour wait for an oil change with an appointment. This is by far the most important reason for me. I refuse to take my car to a dealership and wait 4 hours for an oil change. It's ridiculous. I'd rather just take it to Jiffy Lube, wait maybe 30 to 45 minutes, pay roughly the same price, if not a little bit less. And this goes double as hard for manufacturers like BMW, Mercedes, Audi, anything foreign or European. Why would I sit at a dealership for 4 hours to get my oil changed when there's a 10-minute oil change down the road from a local mechanic? Bad attitude, contempt towards women, exorbitant pricing, takes too long, it's torture. They wanted $495 to change a single headlight. 25 bucks on Amazon, and with a 2-minute YouTube video later, I had 2 new headlights instead. BMW tried to charge me $5,000 to replace a splitter on my M3 competition. I went online, found the part, ordered it for about half the price that they were going to charge me, took it to a local shop, had them do it with labor, fees, and everything. It was quite literally 35% of the total price that they were going to charge me. That is why nobody's taking their cars to these dealerships to get them repaired and serviced.
Don't stop, yeah, get it. Shake that shit, don't stop, work with it.
Another example of the bad behavior from these dealerships, this creator posts how I feel financing a Kia to a single mom at 20% interest for a $900 a month payment. Another creator, he was a man, he actually made the exact same trend maybe 6 to 8 months ago from the time I'm making this video. Same caption with the how I screwed over a single mom and made a ton of money off of her. He ended up getting fired from his job. So I have no idea how this creator still has this video live. I don't know if she's been fired, but goes to show another example of how these dealerships are completely predatory and do not have your best interest at heart. And then to top it all off, they'll plead their ignorance, wondering why they can't sell their vehicles.
This car has been on our lot longer than I have, and I don't know why. Behind me is the 2023 Mustang GT Premium, and here's 3 reasons this car should be gone already. Reason number 1 that this car should be gone is it has just over 10,000 miles on it. That's only 5,000 miles a year. Reason number 2 this car should be gone is it's actually purple and not black. This paint color is called Purple Mischievous Metallic. Reason number 3 this car has to go. Listen to this exhaust. If you're watching this video, I can sell it to you for $42,991. Let me know in the comments, would you drive a purple Mustang? For me, it'd be black.
I mean, there it is, clearly in your face, right there. $42,000, are you out of your mind? That's what a new car costs. Yes, this is a older generation or an older model year with 10,000 miles, and it is still being sold right around the same cost as a brand new Mustang with the new body style, the new interior, everything. Trade in on Kelley Blue Book, assuming it's in very good condition, is between $35,800 and $39,895. We all know it is most definitely not towards the high end, and seeing how your dealership has 2.5 stars and the internet price is already $1,000 cheaper than what you just stated, I'm assuming the pricing of this vehicle with the sales department did not go over well after posting this video. This is a classic example of a dealership not only overpricing their vehicle by thousands of dollars, also misrepresenting what the actual price is when they put it on their website versus what they tell you when you get to the lot. And a lot of them refuse to give you that price over the phone, so you have to drive down to the dealership lot to get that out the door price.
The car market has collapsed. If you've been waiting to buy a new car, the car market is in a full-blown recession. Right now, a Grand Cherokee is $8,000 off before any negotiations, just listed like this online. F-150s are having $13,000 off listed online before you ever even step foot in the dealership. Now, Chrysler dealerships seem to be hurting quite a bit. We have over $13,000 off on a Ram 1500, almost $12,000 off on this other Ram over here, and it just continues to get worse. One of the worst ones you can find is Nissan, and Nissan has $13,500 off on this truck and over $16,000 off on the Nissan Titan SV. Now, we'll get to the data in just a second. I want to show you that most places have 0% APR. So most manufacturers have 0% APR. Now, to add fuel to the fire, Americans just broke a record for how late they are on car payments. All-time record. So right now, the percentage of borrowers at least 60 days late on their car payment is the highest on record. So we just smashed that right there. We even smashed what happened back in 1995 and in 2008.
$16,000 off for a Nissan truck. I don't even know if I would still buy one of those things. And at these dealerships, it's almost like there's an internal culture going around to see who can get the highest car payment, drive the coolest car, make the most amount of money off of desperate low-income customers.
What's your car payment?
It's a 2023 Audi Q3 and my car payment is $1148 a month.
What's your car payment?
I drive a 2018 Ford Fiesta ST and I pay $270 a month.
What is your car and your car payment?
I've got a 2026 Jeep Wagoneer S and my payment is $748.
What's your car and what's your car payment?
Honda Civic Si and it's paid off.
What's your car and what's your car payment?
2022 Kia K5 600.
What's your car and what's your car payment?
I drive a 25 Mazda CX-70 and my payment's about $620.
What's your car and what's your car payment?
Kia K5 GT line 600.
What's your car and what's your car payment?
A 2020 Ford Mustang 50 GT and my payment is $775.
$1,100 a month for a base trim Audi SUV that's a couple years old, not counting insurance, not counting gas, not counting maintenance and repairs, which we know are going to be very expensive because it's an Audi. She's likely paying somewhere around $1,700 to $1,800 a month to drive a base trim Audi Q3. And I'm sure these dealerships love their employees making videos like this because not only does the dealership get free advertising, but the employees foster a culture internally of continuously wanting to spend more money at the dealership that they work at to get more car payments, higher amounts of debt, higher amounts of negative equity. And the only person who really wins at the end are these dealerships. $1,448 a month? I'm never buying a car from her. Anything more than $400 is diabolical. And in this next clip, we're going to see the visceral negative reaction that these dealers and these car salespeople have in their heads when you tell them you don't want to go through the financing game and those loopholes. You instead want to pay cash.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now. Fuck no.
It's all about commission. Sales make more if you finance it. It's just pure greed. They will drive away customers. I did this at my local dealership. My offer was also rejected. Went to another dealership 40 minutes away and my offer was accepted. I'm in complete favor of skipping these dealerships altogether and going straight to the manufacturer. Unfortunately, these dealerships signed agreements for 70, 80, 90, 100 year negotiations with manufacturers. And so in America, we're going to have to deal with this for the foreseeable future. If you don't want to deal with the dealerships and you also don't want to deal with private sale, you can use a third party, but as we'll see in this next clip, it's not all sunshine and rainbows there either.
Carmax is apparently failing, doing poorly. Things are down. Year to date, the stock is down 58%. Hoovie, take us through, give us a Carmax memory. You worked there. I love Carmax dearly. Of course, began in this industry by exploiting CarMax's used car warranty.
My first job in the car business was at Carmax, opening in Kansas in 2006.
Wow. The initial plan for CarMax was to only roll out in the southern states because they could prevent a lot of the rust and other issues that happen. And eventually, of course, it became national. I think it even eventually went to Canada. And then Hoovie was there selling cars.
I was. Yeah, my first car I ever sold was a Trailblazer.
Why are they struggling? I would think this would be a great time to be CarMax.
Why would you think that?
All the new cars suck. No one wants them. They're all overpriced.
If you have a normal car, Carvana makes it so easy. And CarMax never greatly pivoted towards the online thing. It's just still so brick and mortar focused.
Now, I saw somebody was complaining about CarMax recently because they just wanted someone to do a walk-around video of the car. We can't do that.
CarMax strikes me as one of these things that's gotten so big that they actually make it harder for their dealers to sell cars, which was a common complaint I heard when I was in the car business. You make us get compliant flower pots and compliant trash cans, and it's all these ancillary things that doesn't matter. We're just trying to sell cars here.
You know, I'm actually not into cars. I'm just into lowballing the out of people. So CarMax is against my religion.
It was so hard training people in Kansas. What do you mean you can't give me $2,000 off this camera?
If you didn't know, CarMax actually refuses to do negotiations on price. And from this clip, we can see that a lot of those dealerships are refusing to even do walkarounds of the car before you spend your valuable time driving all the way to the lot, only to find out that the car that is represented online is nowhere near the same level of quality as in real life. In general, buying a car today just sucks. There's no way around it. But that's all we have for today's video. If you enjoyed your time here with me today, please drop a like rating on this YouTube video. It helps me out tremendously. It tells the almighty algorithm gods to show this video to more people. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right here to watch next. And until next time, take care.